Foster carers in this country do a vital job. They care for children who have nowhere else to go, no one else to look after them, but they're not regarded under the law as workers. And now there's a move to change that. Sarah Anderson chairs the Foster Care Workers branch of the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain, and she's making a legal claim today to an employment tribunal. She is with me. Clive Coleman is our legal affairs correspondent. Let's hear a word from him first, Clive, just to tell us what is the legal position as it stands.
Well, the legal position is that traditionally foster carers have not been regarded as workers. Now, let's just define that word workers. It's a legal category and it derives in part from EU law. But, John, it falls short of employee. In other words, workers are not entitled to the full set, the full suite, if you like, of employee rights. But they are entitled to some very important ones, such as paid holidays, the national minimum wage, protection from discrimination. Courts in England have in the past ruled that the written agreement that foster carers have with the local authority or the fostering agency that they work with is not a legal contract, and a legal contract is a necessary requirement for someone to be legally classed as either a worker or an employee. And the reason that has emerged through the courts over the years from our Court of Appeal is that it says that the foster care agreements are not contracts because their terms are set out in law and they're not freely entered into and negotiated by the parties. In other words, if you like, foster carers are engaged pursuant to a statute and not under a contract. And it's that issue that is at the heart of the case that Sarah Anderson is bringing. And one of the things that she cites is a recent Glasgow Employment Tribunal case that recently found that some very specialised foster carers and foster care agreements can be shown to be different from the ones the Court of Appeal was looking at. And in the Glasgow case, the specialised foster care workers, and this was a tiny proportion of the total number of foster carers in Glasgow, but they were held to be contracts with Glasgow City Council and they were deemed to be employees.
Right, not simple, is it? Thanks very much, Clive. Sarah Anderson, good morning to you.
Good morning, John.
How different would things be for you as a foster mother? Because you fostered, what, 10 children over the years?
Well, we've been fostering, myself and my husband and daughter, for 10 years. So actually, I suppose over that particular period, we've probably fostered about 25 children. This is with Hampshire County Council, who I consider I work for now, the last 4 years. We take about 10 children.
And how different would it be? Because at the moment, if a child needs care in one way or another, you give that child care. You don't think about it, do you? You don't think, I'm going to be on holiday, I need a few hours off work or something, because the child's needs come first.
Quite honestly, nothing will be different except that we will have rights and we'll be more protected. We're very...
In what way? Sorry to interrupt you. We'll be protected in what way?
It's a very, very dark world out there, the foster care workforce. I don't think anybody realises what goes on. They think little orphan Annie turns up on our doorstep and, we all live ever happily ever after. And
like
nothing could be further from the truth. We're a very highly specialised professional workforce these days. We work 24/7. We work evenings, weekends, bank holidays, etc. We're exhausted. We do take our 2 weeks respite a year, but we live in a world fearful of allegations, and allegations.
What, in case somebody says you mistreated?
Can I just say, it's a very misused system. So it's also, I feel, used to keep us in our place. But I'm the first person to have actually stood up and said, enough's enough. We need some human rights, never mind anything else, basic human rights.
But can you just clarify this for me? You are volunteers, right? I mean, the council can't make you foster a child, can they?
It's a bit like saying any job's voluntary, isn't it? Anybody does their job voluntarily.
In the sense that this, if I'm presenting the tribunal, Sarah, we have to be here at a certain time. We can't leave until...
we are controlled to within an inch of our lives.
Right.
We have a 4-5-page contract which we both sign. I call it a contract.
But can they make you foster a child?
Can they make us foster a child? Well, they can. If we don't foster children, we don't work, and we're not volunteers. We're paid.
Indeed.
So this is a job.
I understand that completely. So when you're fostering children, when you have a child, you will be paid a certain amount of money for that.
Yes.
Just give us a rough idea how much it is.
Well, I'm at the top of the tree, if you like, and if you work it out on an hourly basis, even based on sort of 40 hours a week. I think I'm on about, my fee part of it's about £3.20 an hour.
Really? So it's way below the minimum wage.
Well, and I'm well paid.
Right.
Now, we do one of the most valuable jobs in society for society. We look after other people's children, not our own. We have a very strict contract. We are controlled within each other. We have a chain of command. We are told where we can work and where we can't. We can't let anybody else do our job. And we can only work for one employer. And if we don't want to work for them anymore, it takes about 6 or 8 months to do the whole thing all over
But can't you
again.
just stop? Can't you just say, I'm not going to foster
Yeah,
anybody?
but then what happens to the rent and the bills?
Well,
and the
indeed. No,
mortgage?
I'm not suggesting that,
Yeah.
but technically you could stop. You could stop working and they couldn't make you work, as it were.
Yes, it's an odd argument though, because that's like any job. You can stop and not, no job makes you work, do
What
they?
I'm suggesting is that could you not say, I don't want to foster a child next week, but I will have one in a month's time, or something like that?
Well, then what would I do to...
Indeed,
pay
no,
the
but I'm just trying to
mortgage? Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
the
No, I
the way
mean,
it
this
works.
is the whole thing. I think that people think that we just sit at home on a kind of voluntary basis,
Yeah.
taking children in. I mean, this is it's a very emotive thing, isn't it? Because does us wanting worker status mean we don't care for our children? No, of course it doesn't. We love, nurture and adore and hopefully make massive differences to little lives. But we do need some recognition and we need some more holiday. We need to be protected. We need to be able to go off sick.
And get paid while you're off sick.
Paid while we're off sick, but
Makes
also
sense.
not fear for going off sick. We really,
Well-
really need protection in allegations and
Well,
things
let's
as
see
well.
what happens as a result of your
Oh.
case.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah Anderson.
Okay.
It's 19.